Welcome to a post-election episode of the CIA podcast. My name is Mike Glazer. I'm a CIA intern recording underneath the Denver airport on my lunch break. And I just want to say the CIA is going gangbusters today. We all may stay at work late. We may have overtime. We may be taking shots, blowing kazoos, and putting on party hats because our plan worked perfectly. We staged an SS attempt and it all went according to plan. The Neo Neanderthals are in charge. Let me say that again. I'm foaming at the mouth. The Neo Neanderthals are in charge. That's right. We wanted to put people into prime positions, whether that be on podcasts, whether that be in union busting, whether that be people who don't understand how tariffs work, but they're still going to vote for a man over a woman. The Neo Neanderthals are back, baby. We got a new type of white man, but it's the same as the old type of white man, but it's still a white man. So that's what matters. Oh, man. Oh man, if I could have shown you the mood boards, if I could have shown you the blueprints, the development, the pre-production of what we had in store and how it all came to fruition. Like, I don't think you understand what it means when, let me take a sip and then I'll get into state by state rights. I love that stuff. Coffee from underneath the Denver airport. We have a Starbucks here. It has flavors you've never even thought of before. It's incredible. Like, you know, those crabs that can see all those colors? Well, imagine that, but with your taste buds on your tongue. I'm like my tongue is like a crab. I have flavors down here you've never even heard of before. Marge, you ever had Marge? Incredible flavor, but it's the American public's not ready for it yet. But I can't wait for you to try Marge one day. So the Neo Neanderthals are in charge. These are the people who think they're incredibly smart, but they're not. And this is what we want. The CIA loves horror movies. That's why we have the election near Halloween, because we want to create America like a horror movie where the virgin gets out alive and everyone's like, yay, go for the virgin. But every step along the way, let me explain it to you. Okay, the Neo Neanderthals are in charge. That's like the killer, but it's not really the killer because they have a heart of gold and they mean well, and everybody's doing the best that they can. George Floyd, that is our example of someone who probably voted for Trump, is that cop who killed that black man. And as we all know, in horror movies, the black person usually dies first. And then some creative captain of a football team says, hey, let's split up. And that's our Joe Rogan. And that's our Elon Musk. And that's our leader who's like, let's split up. We're better if we split up. And that is state by state rights. So we want abortion at a state level. We want trans rights at a state level. We want the American people split up because then it's easier to control. Let's say you're in Alabama and you don't talk to Arkansas and you hate California. Well, that's great for us here at the CIA. We want you to split up so that it's easier to control you, to easier to maintain privacy over all of you because you have your own border wall around you. They call California a bubble, and it is. It's an absolute bubble. And the people in that bubble are like, yes, I love this bubble. And the people who are outside of that bubble are like, hey, I hate that bubble. I want to poke it. I want to pop it. And that's how state by state rights work. What people did want and why we had to squash people like Bernie Sanders is because he wanted some universal rights like health care or abortion or the right to bear arms, like all of our amendments still intact, but then saying like, why can't women have rights? Why can't black women have rights? Like, why can't trans people have rights? And we were like, whoa, Bernie, this isn't going to work for us. That makes it harder to control everybody. Have you not watched Halloween 1 through 6? Get a grip, dude. Cabin in the Woods, another great example of a horror movie that we base a lot of our choices off of. So anyway, we had to squash Bernie Sanders for obvious reasons, but now that everything is going to be at a state level, you're not going to have any privacy. You're only going to be connected through your phones. And then once we implement Starlink and Elon Musk is like neurolinking everyone's brains, we're all going to be divided unless we want you to be united. And that's a beautiful thing because state by state rights means that like if you're voting like against abortion and you're in a state that's like that, we're like, great. Either way, stay on your phone, give us all your data, yell into an echo chamber around who everybody that believes you and agrees with you is, and then we'll just connect you through your phone and we'll keep you kind of where you are, but maybe like give you an extra $500 a year, something like that. Like COVID with like, that's why Trump was so great over COVID. He gave people $1,600 And people were like, I guess, great. So, you know, it's really exciting. So we have Elon Musk in charge of technology that'll create some kind of false unity, but actually everyone's going to be more divided than ever. We have Donald Trump in charge, who is going to absolutely explode the economy and make the millionaires into billionaires and the billionaires into trillionaires. And everyone's going to be like, dang, I'm going to do that. I'm going to buy some Tesla stock and I'm going to make an extra $5,000 a year. Thank you, Donald Trump. That $5,000 is a down payment on a new Camaro. You best believe I'm all about Donald Trump and my new sweet whip. And so that's going to be really good. Who else? JD Vance, he's going to be the voice of reason because obviously we needed someone to balance Donald Trump and we have a loose cannon in him. And JD Vance is going to be like, look, guys, I love Christ and I love God and I have a dog and I'm actually not that weird. So like let's just like all agree to close the borders and ship immigrants out and really start messing up things. Like let's just relax and see what happens when we shake it up. I'm honestly, I mean, I'm an intern at the CIA. That's the only problem. I'm scared for my job because they're always talking about like disbanding the FBI, disbanding the CIA, because like who needs oversight? And like that makes me nervous because I love doing this podcast and I love my internship and I love my responsibilities here underneath the Denver airport. But it's going to be great at a state level. Then we're going to get into education, and like some states are going to start teaching about God in school, which is going to be awesome because that goes against science. And then we'll get you hooked on pharmaceuticals, and those pharmaceuticals will be under God's design, and then you'll be addicted to those, and that'll be fine, and that'll help our economy. And then if you really want to get a job, get into pharmaceuticals. They'll pay you like probably 150 to $250,000 a year to count pills, push them out to people in your community, and get people hooked on those, and you'll make a lot of money and probably get a second Camaro. So like the world is great. The world is good. Everyone was so scared about Project 2025. I got to tell you, the project underneath Project 2025 is the real Project 2025. And that's the one where we divide everybody into like different communities where some people learn about God, some people learn about science, everyone's hooked on pills, and we have complete control over all of it. And we just get to have war all the time, everywhere, to keep you kind of like engaged and on, you know, edge, which is always a fun thing. And we've been doing that forever. I mean, you know, I don't have to tell you how easy it is. Like I remember George Carlin, who we had to unalive, said something along the lines of like politics and presidents are just the theater for war. And we were like, okay, well, we got to squash that. You know what I mean? So I hope I'm making sense to all of you, and I hope you see what's coming down the pipeline, and I hope you're excited for it because, like we all know, when you have your rights, we actually have your rights, and that is the way to be. So, you know, whether you're worried about things like the Israel-Palestine conflict or Ukraine and Russia, or here at home with immigration and trans rights and women's rights, just know we've got it all under control under President Donald Trump and his legion of experts and brilliant neo-Neanderthals. And guys, and shout out Joe Rogan too, man. Like, if you want to talk about one of the best, like as soon as he started making Earth into a flat Earth and started making sense, and people were like, maybe the Earth is flat. We knew now is the time to have Donald Trump on. And then him sitting in the cut, letting Dana White make moves so that, like, again, our biggest export is no longer going to be football. It's no longer going to be baseball. Under Trump and under Dana White, we're back to gladiator times, baby. The UFC is a global gladiator event. Hello, Rome, USA, baby. That's Rome now. We're going to be fighting lions. We're going to be fighting tigers, but those lions and tigers are men and women, and that's exciting. So yet again, entertainment capital of the world, Dana White. Technological evolution. Thanks to Elon Musk, your privacy is no more, and everything will be splintered except through your phones, Neuralink and Starlink and Teslas, which we can also control. I won't get into that right now because that's a whole nother topic. But Elon Musk, your technological avenger. And then we have Donald Trump at the helm of all of it, just pulling those levers and making sure everybody stays unstable. And we slowly chip away through the Supreme Court at everything that we deem not worth our time or yours. Well, it's not really up to you. Anyway, I just had to make this quick, exciting CIA podcast. What time is it? Yeah, 12:24. I've got 6 minutes left on my lunch break, but I'm actually going to work during that time because I'd like this internship to turn into a full-time job one day. So I just want to say congrats to everybody. If you didn't vote for Donald Trump and instead you voted for a Democratic representative, sorry it didn't work out this time. But again, we've been playing this game for like 20 plus years, laying down this pipe. Well, 20, that's generous. When did we start? I wasn't here when it started. Oh, I mean, when Russian disinformation was coursing through everything, we knew, we were like, this is the time to move quickly. Like, I'll say this and then I'll wrap up. Like when 9/11 happened, when we planned 9/11, and that went off like gangbusters too, so that we could invade Iraq. And then we could also get these machines. CIA, I don't know if you remember, but right after 9/11, all of a sudden we had machines that could see your private parts in airports everywhere. And we had those just in a warehouse. We didn't know what to do with them. We were like, I guess we'll buy these. They seem like they might be useful at some time. Boom, we plan 9/11. Boom, that attack happens. Next thing you know, my friend Blake, he's like, hey, what about all those machines in that warehouse in Provo? And it was like, oh my God, let's get those into airports and like start selling those. And we made so much money here at the CIA on those private part machines that really didn't do much, but now they're implemented everywhere, and you're used to them by a generation or two down the line. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's a tangent, but I just wanted to like shout out that kind of like inspiring thought process that we have here at the CIA, which is why I wanted to get involved. Anyway, Kamala did her best, and we wish her well, but we are under the Trump administration here, and that's going to be great, especially if you're a fan of horror films. Okay. Um, ah, I don't have any more time. I'm just so excited. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe, do all of that. Follow the ticking talk and all those things, and don't forget to buy stuff. Okay, see you soon.